My name is Ellie, welcome to my channel, and it's a little warm. I dressed inappropriately, so my windows are open to let in some of the fresh air. You can probably hear my neighbor up the street practicing their trumpet. We'll do our best to just sweep past that carefully. I want to talk about highlighters because what I've been doing with my free time apparently is doing different mini collection tours. So we did blush. I'm not super interested in doing bronzer just because it's not a variation. Like, I took a picture a while back of all the bronzers I have. A lot of them are too warm for me, and it's not like I'm switching it up. I'm going through one after another, trying to pan them. But, like blush, I have a decent amount of variation in my blush that I own. I apparently have a lot more highlighter than I thought I did, because in gathering them all over here, I'm overwhelmed. I do go through highlighter a bit faster than blush, so there is that. And as we continue through 2 weeks of quarantine, I will probably find some other things I want to do different tours on. I'm not intending to swatch everything, but just in case, I brought myself a little cleaner bit. I thought we'd start with singles. Let's start with what I have the most of, which is Becca. I believe my first Becca purchase was Lilac Geode, which is this. It is really pretty. I like this. This is on my list that I would enjoy panning at some point because it is so pretty and flattering and, softly iridescent, but very nice. In order to continue exploring that trend, I also bought like a little 4-pack of these last holiday or the holiday before. I played trumpet back in high school. I do not miss it. And one of the reasons is I never practiced because I didn't want to sound like that for the whole neighborhood. Even though I'm sure they are learning and they are getting better, I never liked the idea of practicing loudly enough that my household could hear it and that the whole neighborhood could hear it, which is kind of hard to do with most instruments. Especially brass. Brass is decently loud. So, I did get the minis, and I like them. I like them all. They're kind of softer. I'm currently, slowly working my way through all my different champagnes, so, Vanilla Quartz is the one I'm working on since I just finished Mary Luminizer, the mini Mary Luminizer in my Balm of Your Hand palette. I also have Opal, which is kind of right on the edge of too deep for me, but I'm thinking I can get away with it lightly, which is nice. I really like Rose Quartz. Here we go, swatching everything. And I think it's Prismatic Amethyst. Yeah. They're really nice. They lend themselves very well to that soft glow. These are nice. They are reflective, but they're, Opal's a little bit more Kapow, but these are generally on the face quite delicate and almost natural looking. So I'm going to be putting stuff down here as I go. They're very pretty. They're very easy to apply, and since all those 4, actually all 5, are in a good tone range for my skin, that I don't really worry about it being too reflective when I build it up. I don't worry about having to use a specific technique so much. Just kind of goes on and it is fine. I also have a NYX Duochromatic highlighter in Twilight Tint. It is a blue duochrome. These are some of my favorite duochromes. When I finish up my Moonchild Glow Kit, this is probably going to be on the list to do it because it's really nice. I find them very flattering on my face. I like them a lot. I have just one MAC highlight, and it is the Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Snow Flush. And it is so pretty. This was like a glittery duochrome. It's real pretty. This was kind of a dupe of their eyeshadow. I think it was something Mary. Stylishly Mary? Yes, it was. I missed out on. I didn't see it. And I don't use this too much as a highlight. Honestly, I don't use it too much at all. But I can wear it as a highlight and get away with it. And it's really, really pretty. It blends out very nicely. And this is more than enough product to do eyeshadow and highlight and all of that. Looks like I still have a little mirror protector on the mirror. We'll leave that for now. But really, really pretty, gorgeous formula. If I ever have space to allow more highlighters into my life, I will probably pick up some of that really gorgeous, gorgeous formula. I wanted to get through my singles first, so we're going to keep going with singles. I do have two from Kaleidos. They are kind of different formulas. This is Comet Catcher. It's a nice, smooth, pink highlighter. This one is Skywalker. It's a much more glittery blue. Let me see. I can probably swatch both of these and get away with it. So yeah, you can see how much stronger that blue is than the pink. I kind of wish the pink was in the blue formula, but I'm sure there are reasons for that. The pink is very nice. I appreciate having a backup of a pink duochromatic highlighter because of how much I use Pink Heart in Moonchild Glow Kit. I like all of them in there, but again, the pink one is the most easy to incorporate into looks. As I proceed to just swatch everything. I do have, oh wait, no, I'm going to save this for a little bit. I have two, where did I? Bitter Lace Beauty. I got White Diamond, and I don't remember if I ordered this or if it was just kind of thrown in as a free gift, but I also have Gleam and Glow. I feel like I would have ordered more than one, but I'm not confident, and I like to pretend that it was a nice little gift for ordering because indie brands are lovely like that, and they are a nice little brand. I'm very interested in trying more of their stuff because they're very nice. A lot of stuff that they end up marketing as highlighters, I don't always think that I could wear as a highlighter, but like these are very, very nice. Sometimes you have to use the right brush for it because they buff in really well. Like, that's gorgeous. White Diamond is, oh, it's pretty. It's so pretty. And Gleam and Glow is really, really nice. It does layer up like a very flattering office type look. I have one. Yeah, I want to get more of them, but again, I'm not really allowed to buy any more highlighters, as you're going to understand by the end of this video. I have a lot. I really got into it. This was also my blush, but I feel like I often see it as also a highlight. This is Peach Sheen from IBY Beauty. It's very similar to the Franken highlighter that I made right here. Let me put them, I'm going to swatch them next to each other so we can kind of compare. I can get this open, that's possible. So, Peachy Sheen. And yeah, so they're very, oh, that one's a little bit more coral. Yeah, so different levels of depth. Again, Peachy Sheen would probably be one that is a blush that I kind of just work up there and maybe top with something else because of how deep it is. But I like my Franken highlighter. I feel like it turned out really well. It allowed me to use up a color that I had not really been reaching for on its own and kind of dial up the brightness of it. I do have one Tarte highlighter. This is Spirited. It's just a very standard, you know, champagne glow. It's nice. It's not something that is like top of my list, but since I am slowly chewing through champagne highlighters because I have a lot of them and they're very easy to wear day in, day out. Like I wore my Franken highlighter and Vanilla Quartz today. They look really well. really, really nice today. I'm probably also dewy from the fact that, like, I've been out and doing stuff. I went and ran grocery errands for my parents because they don't like it when I say it, but they are technically elderly. They're in their 60s, and it's safer for me to go and get the stuff than it is for them to go and get the stuff. I left these. Oh yeah, I do have things in here. Okay, I have a couple more before I get too far into this. I do have a Nabla highlighter, again with the, golden champagne-y duochrome. This is Angel from the shade and Glow. It's really pretty, but I just find it kind of hard to pick up. I might want to repress this at some point with something else, because when I get it on my skin, it's really pretty, but it takes a lot of kind of digging in to make it show up. So I very well might use that to repress in like a different highlight together and make something for myself. Because we're going to see, I like Franken stuff. This is an itty bitty pan from Terra Moon Cosmetics of Red Giant, which is why you really don't need much. This is one of my favorites. It is gorgeous. It is a red, orange, like gold with a touch of green. I don't know how to show you the green, but there is a little bit of green in there. It is so nice, and it's very pigmented, so you really kind of do a tap in it and then do like a very diffused look. You have to be very careful, because otherwise you will get a decent amount of base pigment, which honestly is worth it for something so pretty. It's really, really, it looks a little pink on camera, but it is quite red in person, and I love it. And if I ever am allowed to buy more highlighters, we're buying a big pan of that. I do have some type of shimmering. I'm pretty sure this is Urban Decay. It's some type of champagne sample size highlighter, so that's also in there. That might get repressed with some other stuff, because it is, if you have a highlighter that is a nice color like Angel, but is kind of hard to pick up on a brush and use, crush it up, grind it, repress it. Most times the way you repress powder is going to be softer than the original pressing of the pan from like the nice big fancy machine. So whenever I'm having trouble picking something up, I did that on my Tarte blushes too, when they were kind of getting kind of stiff and you weren't getting a lot of pigment. I repressed them so I could get more pigment on my brush per thing, and it worked great. So that is my kind of go-to thing, is to repress it and allow it to be a little bit softer, but it's not everybody's thing. I have two highlighters. One is not really a highlighter, but I can't remember if it's actually listed on their site as a highlighter or not, so I'm going to label it. This is from Clear Cosmetics. This is Alexandrite. It is real pretty. Again, this is not a highlighter for me, but it does say for face and eyes. I'm going to use this as an eyeshadow, as like a really, really gorgeous eyeshadow, because it is super pretty. Like, it's... I feel like if you had really, really deep skin and you used a soft hand, you could potentially get away with that, or like build it into a blush. I also have Seer from their Witchcraft and Alchemy collection, which is not what you would expect to be wearable, and one of the reasons that like I kind of want to try more of Bitter Lace Beauty, because in the pan it didn't look like something I could use, but when I sheer it out, it's this gorgeous shade that I really, really like, and I have two of them. So eventually I need to give one to my friend, but it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Since we are talking about Clear Cosmetics, I will talk about the 4 highlighters I have in here. I swatched them in my other video, but we will talk about them real quickly. This is, I believe, Aether and Phoenix Embers. Really, really nice. Very, very pretty. Very pigmented. Nice, soft, easily picked up formula. And again, we have Seer and Enchantment, which is a nice pinky gold duochrome. They're very pretty. I originally picked up Seer because I didn't think I was going to get this palette. I was going to order one originally, and I ended up ordering the second one later because they liked it so much. So, that is that. I have one more single highlighter that will get us into my Anastasia Beverly Hills stuff. This is the Amrezy highlighter. It's really, really pretty. It's very reflective. There's something going on in here that I really don't understand, but I like it. It's like they mixed in a little bit of duochrome with so much champagne, because when I, like, it's pretty, it's a nice champagne, blah, 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 but when I put it on my skin and then, like, blend it out, there seems to be, like, little bits of something else. It's really hard to explain, and I can't always catch it. It normally behaves like a nice, you know, champagne iridescent highlighter. It doesn't have a ton of base pigment, which makes it really, really nice, and I think is one of the reasons it was so kind of universal, or at least very close to universal. But when I have it spread out, or like if I leave this on my hand and walk around for a while, I seem to find like pink and green speckles, almost as if there was some type of like very, very tiny glitter that added extra dimension to it. I don't know if that's real. It's just something that I seem to find every time I wear it, so in my head there is extra stuff going on in this very, very pretty highlighter. And it's on my panning list because it's gorgeous, but also it's a champagne. I have the remains of my Moonchild Glow Kit. It is dying slowly. We've got Purple Horseshoe all the way gone. Blue Moon is on its way out. Now that I have a good replacement, I can finish up Pink Moon. I'm going to need a replacement for Lucky Clover eventually, because that is my second favorite. Actually, that's probably my favorite. Lucky Clover is my, like, fun, sneaky one. Pink Heart is the easy one that I can just throw on with most looks and not have an issue with. But I am slowly finding I like the other ones. Again, I like all this in here. That was kind of my hill to die on, was everything is as wearable as you are willing to wear. And I was like, oh, I'm going to pan this. And I most of this is from working in a more conservative office environment. Again, they were all things that you can work into a look. I didn't have anybody ever complain about my highlight or say something negative. The most I got was like, oh, that's really pretty. And that was more conservative dress code, more conservative interactions with the public, and no issues. So, you can wear whatever you're willing to put on your face. So that was my little, like, gripe about, oh, wearable, which now I've amended that to approachable and easy to wear. There are things that are intimidating from a starting point, and if you're not comfortable, you're not going to be comfortable wearing them. I have two more glow kits, because we are a nightmare. I have this one, which is a little gouged. I've been chipping pieces out to mix into different Franken highlighters and eyeshadows, just to add some extra iridescence to some impact to some shades that were a bit more satin. I was like, let me just put in the really, really chunky highlighter. These are all nice shades. They all work for me, but they all seem to have pink. It's like they all have pink iridescent whatever in them. So these are 3 different shades, and they end up having pretty much the same reflect. Like, you can see a little bit here, but they're not nearly as different as you would really want them to be if you're gonna buy a 6-pan highlighter. There's probably pink glitter in all of them, and in trying to get them to pick up with a brush, the pink glitter is what adheres the most. So I remember trying that out and being like, it's pretty, but it's like having 6 of the same fucking pan. So I was a little salty about that. I also have the Sugar Glow Kit, which I mainly got for Marshmallow. Back when I didn't have a bunch of champagnes or anything, I wanted a nice, you know, light yellow duochrome shade, and they're all pretty. They're all things I can get away with. They're all nice and lovely. Of the glow kits, the more neutral ones, this is probably the best choice for my skin. It's really, really nice. A lot of them have things that are potentially on the too deep side for me. But yeah, I was really excited when they brought that back. or I don't think they even brought it back. I think it was that Marshmallow was from the sweets, and I was like on the lookout for a secondary seller for the sweets because they had discontinued it, and I wanted Marshmallow so bad. And now that I have a big collection, it's just nothing special because I have a bunch of champagnes and I have a bunch of goldy highlights, and I just for some reason didn't have that. I don't know why that was like the thing for me, but it was. It isn't anymore. I do have the Kat Von D Metal Crush highlighter. Very pretty, very glittery. Again, I have been chipping away at things for Franken makeup and my more glittery highlighters, because I don't use them as much, have been high on the let's go do stuff with thing. They're pretty. I had not really been wearing this a lot because I had not been supporting Kat Von D, and even trying to just wear it on my own, I wasn't excited to wear a bunch of Kat Von D after all of her shenanigans, but this was a gift from one of my lovely friends, so I'm excited to use it some more now that I have stuff, and see what the new KVD Beauty comes out with now that they're not associated with her. And yeah, I know a lot of people don't like glitter in their highlighters. That's not a problem for me, but I know that's potentially why this did not take off the way that they wanted it to. I do have some highlighters in here. This is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. This was marketed and used as an eye and cheek product. I will likely end up using these more as highlighters than as eyeshadows because they are so neutral. Like, very, very easy all over lid shimmer looks, but just super same. Like, same. I remember getting it and being like, oh, which of the bronzes should I use? And they end up looking pretty much the same, other than, like, yeah, you can obviously tell Treasure and Malibu apart, but other than that, most of this is the same tone. I will probably end up using them as highlighters or inner corner highlights, or just like the most easy and mindless pack one all over the lid type eyeshadow looks. So I enjoyed it. It's nice. At the time that I bought this, I didn't have a ton of bronzes or a ton of those light shimmery shades. Neutrals. I didn't have a bunch of neutrals. So it's nice. It's in here. I am also including the Make Believe in Yourself palette because I have a little highlighter in here, which is nice. I believe it's it's like a white peach duochrome. So kind of like Angel, but easier to pick up on a brush. So very nice. I've used it as an inner corner highlight. I've used it as a face highlight whenever I have it. It just don't really pull for that palette very often. And then I have some more. Like we talked about, I have the NARS Unfiltered One Face and Cheek palette. So these three count as highlighters. I'm honestly probably going to use these two as blushes more than like straight highlighters, just because they are a bit deeper. And they do sheer out into blushes quite well. Ended up swatching most of everything anyway. Luckily I brought the swipey thing. From the Sarah Moon NARS collab, I do have this one nice, again, champagne-y gold highlight. So it's really nice. It's very flattering. I have a bunch of them, hence why that's... Even as I'm finishing up panning other stuff, I'm just like, and a champagne. I'm panning this and a champagne because I should be panning a champagne at all times right now. I also have the last one, which is the Sigma Chroma Glow, I think they call it Blush and Highlight? Shimmer and Highlight palette. I like all of these. They're all very nice. This one, Lush, shears out really, really well. It's the first time I allowed myself to think about strong reds as an option. but this whole little section is very easy, very wearable. Felicity is a nice little purple duochrome, and Zeal is where it's at. I got this for Zeal. I do not regret anything. Zeal is kind of a softer version of what I get from Seer from Cleona Cosmetics, and then that's the purple one, Felicity, below it. They're real pretty. They're very nice. They're very buildable, soft. That's one of my favorite type. Soft iridescence. It's that nude mauve base with like a lovely turquoise flash. It's really nice. I'll put Lush on there too, just so we can see Lush. Yeah, I remember putting Lush over like orangey blushes and just having a really fun time with it, because there is a bit of glitter in it and it's got that red base with the orange flash. It's also pretty. I have a lot of highlighters and they're also pretty, and I like most of them. Some of them less excited about, like that Nabla. I really wanted that Nabla blush highlighter, Nabla highlighter, to be so good. And it's alright. I can make it work. It's just more work than the majority of my collection, so I don't pick it out very often. But I'll probably crush it up and mix it with something else. Oh shit. I forgot two things. Two things. I'm putting it in here, but it's more of a blush topper. Hot Mama Shadow / Blush from the Balm. I almost always wear this layered over something. Why did I start swatching on this hand? What is wrong with me? But yeah, it's more of like a blush with shimmer. Kind of like NARS Orgasm. Just because you can kind of layer it up onto the cheeks and get some glow doesn't mean that I count it as a straight highlight. I also have the highlight in Pineapple at the Sea. This one I use as a highlight. Again, nice, pretty chill. It takes a little bit to build it up. And then I have the two maybe highlights in my Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Volume 2. Sola is probably never going to be a straight highlight for me. Zoba, maybe. Like, I think, yeah, that's more than likely going to be a blush that has some shimmer, and I'll have to layer something up top. Zola, we can get away with. But yeah, very pretty. I almost never wear them, but let me get some more of Zoba, because Zoba is pretty. So that is everything now. Lots of pretty colors, lots of good formula. Like, it seems to be really easy to make a great highlighter, because it's really hard for me to find one I don't like, even if they're not like my favorite for every occasion. Like, some of those are, like the Becca ones, are easier to kind of do a very soft glow. Some of these are very impact heavy, like the Amrezy is, you are going to notice that highlighter type highlighter. But yeah, they're all nice, they're all pretty, they're all things I'm slowly going to go through because I have a lot of them, so don't let me buy any more highlighters. Even if I can justify them, because I'm sure there's plenty that I could justify saying, oh, well, I don't have anything like it. Because I have a lot of, like, blue duochrome, champagnes, peaches, pink duochromes, but I only have so much face. So until I have panned all of them, so like, I'm not allowed any more champagnes right now because I have a bunch of them. Once I finish my Moonchild Glow Kit, I have to. What is happening? It's looking a little weird, so this is horrible footage right here. I am sorry. Everything's going dangerous. Anyway, when I finish up my Moonchild Glow Kit, I then have to finish up the NYX Duochrome, I have to finish up the Kaleidos, and then I can start looking at other duochromes that I'm allowed to buy. Most likely they're going to be Cleona Cosmetics because their duochromes are lovely. And the sun is setting, so I have to finish up. Thank you for listening to 30 minutes of me ranting about my highlighters and making my hand all dry because I have to moisturize because I rubbed a bunch of skin off. Yay! So, don't let me buy any more highlighters. Don't let me buy any more blushes. I'm not really tempted by bronzers right now, so we're good on that. But yeah, no more highlighters for a while. For a long time. I have a lot of them. A lot of them. Unless I am potentially allowed to buy some of the multi-chrome iridescent ones from Terra Moon because they're really, really nice and they're real cool looking. And I am obsessed with Red Giant, which is who Terra Moon made Red Giant, and I like it, and I kind of want the rest from that area, but make me finish some other things first. So, shame me if you see me bringing up new highlighters that are not from my extensive collection. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Stay safe.